Hi everyone, it's Karen. I'm here to show you my first design team project for the month of March for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I will leave links in the description box below to her beautiful shop on Etsy so you can go and shop for some goodies. And I will also leave links in the description box below to the talented designers who are currently using her products and making beautiful inspirational projects for you to look at. And we also have a Facebook group and an Instagram account, and I will leave links to those below, and you can join us on Facebook and on Instagram. There are benefits to being part of the groups, as we do post products that have just been listed in the store on the Facebook page and on the Instagram, so that you get a heads up. Kim's shop is known for selling out of things very quickly, and so you benefit from knowing when things are going in the store. Also, if you join the Facebook group and you have created projects with using supplies from the store, you can post your pictures in the Facebook group and we can all see the beautiful things that you've created and inspire other people. So this little folio is called Butterflies and Bunnies. So it really focuses on that, and also just the beautiful spring colors and me looking forward to spring. Spring, it's my favorite time of year. It's when I was married, and I just look forward to spring. Love living somewhere where I experience all 4 seasons, but winter is the longest season for me, it seems. And I'm always so glad when March comes, because I know that spring is right around the corner. And we are also already having some spring-like weather, so it's really nice. It's Bunnies and Butterflies, and it's a folio. And I have also been busy crocheting up bunnies. I found this crochet pattern on YouTube for making a bunny out of you make a square, crochet a square, and create this cute bunny. Isn't she just? This is definitely a girl. And so I've decorated her up with the beautiful pink bridal trim that was in my design team package. This pink embroidered trim, which is on a mesh background, is just been listed new in the shop again. I happen to have a little piece of it left from the last time Kim had it in the shop. It's always very popular and sells out really quickly. I fussy cut out the little flowers. I hand stitched them onto here, and then the border of it I hand stitched around the edge of her all the way here, and added little tiny 11-0 seed beads. And then she's got a fluffy little peachy pink tail on the back, which is just a handmade little pom-pom. And she has a pink ribbon around her neck. She has a little bit of a pearl detail in the center of that. 2 little black eyes that are, this is not a child's toy. It has lots of choking hazards on it. This is definitely for an adult only. These are little flatbacks that I've just hot glued on, and a little tiny heart for her nose, which is from that trim from Kim's fabric in her shop. I think it might all be sold out now, but that's just one of the beautiful little things that you can do, is just cut out a single heart and do something like that. This is one of my tatted butterflies, and I've put a single piece of pink bling in the center of her. So that little bunny and this little package of goodies, which has got some papers in it that I was planning to put inside the folio in a little flippy pad, but unfortunately the folio got a little bit too fat and it was not closing properly. So I took that idea, I switched it up a bit. You'll see what I did do. I put the papers in here. They're nice papers. There's bunnies and some baskets of flowers and stuff, very springy. And I added in a whole bunch, I think there's 7 butterflies in here altogether. So there's a bunch of tatted ones in different colors, and they're all finished with little details on them. And then there's 2 beaded butterflies in there as well, which are ones in spring colors and ones in sort of shades of purples. And then I made this little paper clip to close off the little bag with. The papers are held together by a little pink heart paper clip, and then this one is a little embellished paper clip. It's just some paper with a piece of trim from Kim's shop that has all the beads around it, and I just cut the center out of it. I added in some of the other little flowers off of one of her trims, added in a paper butterfly that has been printed on like a little, it's much heavier than photocopy paper and a little lighter than cardstock. It's quite firm though and quite stable. A little bit of bling down the center, and added a little bead drop off the back of that, dangle a little piece, little like a little tulip, and that's holding the bag together. There's some little words I've tossed in there too that I had used some in the journal. So this goes as your extra with purchase, and the folio is for sale, and the details will be in the description box below. So let's have a look at her and show you the details. So her closure is the lilac-y mauve chiffon ribbon that was in my design team package. There's just a thread here I want to take off. That's one thing about the chiffon ribbon. It does fray, but I love it. It's so, so pretty. And that's available in the shop. I had that in my design team package. And then I added a little bit of a sparkle trim that I had in my stash along with it, because I thought it looked really pretty. And I just tied that with a single tie. I just put it so that this little bunny's face is peeking out there. I added on a pretty purple pin that I had. I added one of my tatted butterflies with a little bit of bling in the center. Kim has the lovely cup chain in the shop. I'm not sure if this is from her shop or not, but she has very similar bling in the shop, and it's really nice because you get a piece, can't remember how much, and then you can cut it up, and like this is just 2 little pieces from that, so it goes a long way. So I just pinned that on there just because I thought it looked pretty, so that's just an extra little pin there, and then this is just tied. So we will grab the ends here and open this up. This is a folio I just created on my own. It's not a pattern of any kind that I purchased. I just go with the flow and kind of create it as I go. On the outside is, of course, layered up with lots of my tatted butterflies and some beaded butterflies, and the beautiful laces from Kim's shop. And I've got 2 layers at the bottom here. This is the one dangle trim that was in my design team package, but it's only a portion of it. I've cut some of it off the bottom, so it's just a little bit shorter here. The folio didn't need like a huge long trim on the bottom. I didn't think that it looked good, so I took some of it off. The folio is 6 inches tall, and then there's another couple of inches of dangle on the bottom. And then she is about 5 inches wide, but then she has like layers to her. So there's several different layers to her. You'll see as we go through. I added lace down the side as well. This is one of the ones from Kim's shop. This is again only a portion of that lace. I just cut off the one layer of the zigzag pattern, and then I added the full piece on the next page. So I'll show you when I turn it over. It's peeking out the bottom here, but it's actually the full width of this lace, and this is only the bottom portion. The top of this lace I cut off as well, and I added it along the top of the folio here and wrapped it all the way around and in. And then down the side on the spine is that beautiful piece of creamy lace that was tied on the front of my bundle with my little K and the little bauble and everything. She had this piece, and I just love this color with lilacs or pinks and white. I just think it's such a pretty color, and this lace had such nice detail on it, and it looks really pretty against this sort of purpley pink. This is a handmade piece of paper, so it's quite unusual, and I thought it looked really nice as part of the cover. And then I had some of the bunny trim still left from last year because I knew that it would come into play again this spring, so I didn't get rid of it. So, and she does have it in the shop, and so I put 4 of those little bunnies across the top here, And I had a couple extras in there inside the folio somewhere. So I did the purple and blue combination for the tatted butterflies, and they've got little 11-0 seed beads down the center of them. This is another, the florals from Kim's shop, from another one of the trims that she sent me, the one that had the rosy colored roses and the green leaves, and then it had a really nice scallop, and then it had these flowers on the one side. I cut those off and used them throughout the front here. This was the lilac trim that was in my design team package that has the beautiful roses and rosebuds and the little minty green leaves. Very, very pretty. Put some down the side here and a little bit here. The bunny, these are just digitals that I have, and I just did some random sewing around them and in a thread that's similar color to the bunnies, so kind of a tanny color, kind of a tanny gray color. And I mounted that onto a piece of lace, flat lace that I had still in my stash from Kim's shop, and added, oh, there's a piece of that scallop from that same lace that these flowers go to along the top here. And if you go back to my original video that I show all my design team goodies that I got, you will be able to see these laces and how and what they are, because I didn't keep them all pulled out. I'm already well onto my another project and another design team project, so I had put things away. You go and look at that video and you'll be able to spot them. Here's another one of those little bunnies. I just put it on the edge here. I took these mauve and a little bit of pinky, peachy color ribbons from my stash, and I put those down the side. Again, I put one of my little tatted butterflies at the top here. These ribbons extend right into the folio. I'll show you that when we get there. And on the ends of these, I added this beautiful piece that Kim sent me in my design team package, which is the locket and key, or the heart locket and key. And the details on this are so, so pretty. There's little tiny flowers with little tiny rhinestones in the center. The key has the same, and it's got a pinky enamel on it. So pretty. I just hung it on a gold pin, and Kim has these garment pins or bulb pins in her shop, and I just added some clear beads on that. I wanted to separate the two pieces from each other. I didn't want them hanging together, so I purposefully did this with the beads in between so that the little heart locket hangs above the key. And that's on one ribbon. And then on the other two ribbons are two of my beaded butterflies in a lilac colored, and they have little ceramic mauve flowers in the center glued in. So what else? This is a charm that was in Kim's shop last year, again, over the spring and Easter season, and I had a couple of them left, and so I used them in this folio. And this is, again, she carries the most beautiful detailed charms. This is an example, of course. This is an example of one she'd had in the past. She carries the most beautiful little flowers, and that's these. There's two of them here. These are the little chenille flowers that were, again, in my design team package. I chose these two and then added one of my tatted butterflies in that little trio collection on the corner there. Oh, did I miss anything? It just turned out so pretty. There's another piece of this creamy, beigey, tea-colored type lace that's here down this side where you can still see part of the folio. And then also flying up that, on top of that lace, are 3 butterflies that are cut. Four butterflies. I can count. 4 butterflies that are from the butterfly fabric that was from Kim's shop. I'm not sure she still has that fabric available, but it's gorgeous. It's all netted, and you can easily cut these little, they're like organza with embroidery stitching on them. You can easily cut them out to use them as little fussy cuts. And then along the back is a piece of digital paper that I used to cover the back. This is part of that beautiful lace, and this is the top part. Here I just used the very top part of it. Here I left on a little bit of the details that come down from it. And then here's the bottom of that lace that matches this one. And it's all, this is all, that's where I cut this off of. And then it just would match right here. I just love the way that these laces flow when you cut them, as opposed to just putting the whole piece on the way it is. Just the way my eye sees things. And then I did add some little tiny flat back pearls from my stash into the middle of these flowers. Not that they needed them, but I just can't help myself when it comes to embellishing. And another little tatted butterfly here. And this also has a piece of handmade paper. I can't remember where I got these from, and I put that over top of the digital. So it adds texture and it mutes down the digital and just adds another element. So now that you've seen the front and the back, how about if we go inside and have a look? This little piece that forms the cover actually flips back. You can see that beautiful handmade paper on the back. The backs of Kim's gorgeous laces, which are just as beautiful on the back. And that just shows the quality of the laces that she chooses. And then here is the first page in the folio. And here you can see that gorgeous lace that I put only part of it down this side of the page. And I liked that because it did stick out. And then it's there. And then the full length of it is on the bottom and runs all the way along the bottom of the folio. And I don't want to open it all now because I want you to see it in bits, but there's part of it, and then it runs all the way here and all the way in again. So a lot of that lace added to the bottom of this folio. Here's another little bit. And it doesn't run behind the bunny. I just put 2 of those little bunnies on this side of this little digital bunny that I have on the front here. And again, I've sewn around the edges of them. I torn them out of the after I sewed, so they're a little bit more rougher looking. And then I totally fussy cut out one of the little bunnies and added it here. These little bows, I forgot, the one on the front has one in her ear too. Is these cute little bows are from a trim that I had in my design team package, I think a month or 2 ago. And of course, I'm using them up one at a time and hoarding them because they're so cute. I just love them. Kim has a real knack for being able to order trims and laces that you can cut up and use in so many different ways. And so these are those cute little bows. Here's that beautiful rose lilac-y mauve trim. There's a vellum pocket here, and this is running along the top of that vellum pocket. Some paper butterflies up the side with a bit of bling, and then tucked into this pocket is a tag or a journaling card. The backgrounds of this paper is a napkin that has been glued on and then stitched all the way around. And I used that same napkin. I ironed it with freezer paper onto here, sewed all around the edges, and then added another piece at the back. You can see I used some zigzag stitches and some plain, and just plain on the back with some lines so that you could write on that if you wanted to. And then at the very top is another piece of that gorgeous lace that was already featured on the front. There's 2 of the flowers and a little bit of the scrolly piece that's there. And the napkin work allows this to have some texture, and it feels nice. It feels a little bit like material. And then this is another one of the, this is either a paper butterfly or a sticker, I can't remember which, that's at the top there. So this fits into this little pocket here. And then we can open up. Now, the folio has lots of bunnies and lots of butterflies and lots of spring florals. And then, of course, Kim's gorgeous laces. And there you can see that one running all along the bottom. Again, I'm going to open it in sections so you can have something to look forward to. So this is a piece that was in Kim's shop that I hoarded, and I have this tiny bit left. I believe she still has this trim in her shop, and it is so pretty. It's like a bud with the florals coming out of it. I used it in another project and I turned it the other way, and it almost looks like a fuchsia flower with, you know, how they have the pieces hanging down. Very nice. So I've put that down the side here. Here you can see there's a bit of a spine, about half an inch maybe or less of a spine here. And I've ran those ribbons into the inside of the spine here that go to the outside and dangle off the edge here with my goodies on them. The background of each of the pages is a floral napkin that has been applied to paper and then stitched all around on the machine, and some of that stitching is still visible and some gets covered up. And then one of my little tea bags has been added on to the corner here of this one, and they're about 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And then on top of that is some of the handmade paper, which is in a pink color, and you can see the texture of it through the lace. Then a piece of Kim's lovely flat lace on top, which I have stitched with some French knots and some straight stitches down the side to apply that to the tea bag, creating a covered pocket there. And then added the beautiful lilac rose trim. These are just beautiful roses with rosebuds and the mint green lace. Such a pretty trim. And then again, the bunnies are all done the same. They're all been sewn around a couple times, kind of the crazy sewing. And then you just, I just tore them out and then added them in here. Some more die cuts up the side here, added on butterflies. And each of these little tea bag pockets that have been created have a long narrow tag in them. And they're a digital paper with stitching all around the edge. The bunny with the stitching, little bow in this bunny's ear, pretty butterfly, and the butterfly is actually stitched on again with some stitching through here just to add texture, a little word on there, and then the back is plain, but you can see all the stitching and even the stitching from the butterfly, and that's in each of the pockets. And then this middle is like a waterfall, and it's created with some used large size envelopes. And then I have created the topper for each envelope, gluing the digital papers, and on this one napkin on the top of a piece of paper, and then stitching around the edge of it, and then gluing it onto the front of the envelope, and then embellishing further with some die cuts. Butterflies, either some of them are stickers and some of them are fussy cuts, and some of my tatted butterflies. There's a tatted butterfly on this one as well. And this one is just the front and doesn't have a pocket in it. I sewed it completely closed. The other 4 here have pockets in them, and with a journaling card in each of those pockets that you pull out by pulling on the tab. And on the backs of each of the waterfall is my tea stained paper that I tea stain using those plastic mats, so you get this bit of a stenciling effect. And then I've added on stickers and die cuts and that kind of thing along the bottoms of them. They're all stitched around as well, because on each side you add these little toppers separately. This is the front side of the envelope. This would be the back side. This is the next one. This one has the napkin in the background at the bottom, digital paper at the top, and then sewn all around the edge, some fussy cut florals added, and a couple of butterflies added in there as well. And there's the first journal card that is in there. I've rounded the edges of the paper. This is just a cute little paper line that I purchased, and it's a nice paper. It has a nice feel to it. And I added a couple of butterflies into the center of the frame and the little tab on the side. And so you can put those in and out of the pockets. There we go. And the backs of them are either digital paper or the stenciled look that I did there. This one is a digital paper, some die cuts, butterfly here, again, all stitched around. There's the next piece of the waterfall. And again, the floral napkin in the background, die cuts on top, and some butterflies. You can see that one's a sticker because it's got a bit of a sheen to it. Another little journaling card in here. Same thing, same paper line. I've just added butterflies in the frames and rounded the corners. And those just slide in and out of the pockets with the tab. This is the next one. Again, napkin in the background, sewn all around the edges, added in butterfly and some die cuts, a die cut butterfly, another die cut here and here. And then this is the journaling card in this one. They all feature florals, and I've added butterflies into the frames, and I've rounded the edges on them, so they're quite nice. And then this is the back, and this is where I glued it right down onto this the page here. I added some washi tape in here, and then again the background is the napkin glued on to the paper and then sewn around. And then I've added some butterflies, and I added one of those little white butterflies. I had one left over that I had fussy cut out, and I just added it in there. And then it's all finished along the bottom with the top part of that lace from Kim's shop. Beautiful, beautiful, such a pretty lace. And I just cut out a little tiny piece right there so that it would not affect the fold. That's why that's cut out. So that's the second part. Here's the next. This is a little flip I created in here. So this is the pocket, and this is it created with an envelope as well, and then it's glued down on the page with a piece here that covers up the top of the envelope. And so this is the pocket that's created, and this is where I wanted to put that little journal in, but it just was too, I made it too fat. So I took those papers out, and that's what you're going to get in that little bundle there. And I just did I put a tab on it to make it easy to pull out. I did a little collage on the front with one of the baskets from this digital collection with the bunnies, all stitched around with that sort of fast, quick stitching that you do. And then I added 2 of the pieces of that beautiful handmade paper that was in the bundle I got, and then a journaling card that I created again. This was with ironing on the napkin onto some freezer paper, and then I backed it with a bit of collaging. These are both, this is a digital paper, this is one that I have done with some food coloring and one of those mats. And then you can see the stitching all the way around the edge, and I've added a couple, or I think just one little butterfly on that one. This is all part of the napkin. Very, very pretty. And so I just tucked that into the pocket. So I wanted something in that pocket, but it just wasn't going to take anything too fat. And so this is the little page that's created here with, again, just creating that piece on the front of the envelope. Again, the little bunny with the stitching around him. And he's got a little butterfly sitting on the shovel that he's holding in his hand. Extra butterfly added here with some bling. And again, that pretty lilac. Again, this pocket's created exactly like this one over here with the paper. I put the handmade paper on top of the tea bag, and then that beautiful lace from Kim's shop, and then added stitched the lace on with French knots and some straight stitches in a pink embroidery floss. And then in this little pocket again is another little bunny. Again, same papers with the stitching, butterfly stitched on, bunny has been stitched and then glued on to here. So cute little bunny tag that slides into that pocket. And there he is. And then there's the strings on this side again are done with the beads and the little bows on the end. This is the back of the envelope, and I've made a belly band on it here. And on the bell, I'll just slide what is in the belly band out. This is a digital paper in behind, all stitched before it was glued onto the back of the envelope. This is a piece of that beautiful handmade paper. Same what was used on the front. I used that to create the belly band. I glued on some fussy cuts and this gorgeous little bunny here with her bow and a beautiful butterfly here that's dimensional. Its wings are flapping. It has some threads added in there again for more texture and more interest, and some bling in the center. Little bow here off to the side with the bling. Really cute. And that creates the belly band, which I put a tag, and I put a couple of butterflies on it, a little bit of digital paper, a little bit of that lace from Kim's shop, one of the blings from Kim's shop. It's the bow ones, but I just took the rhinestones off the edge because I needed it to be a bit smaller. I just cut them off. It's just mounted on foam. I think she still does have them in the shop. I'll just show you what it looked like, but they're really easy to alter. So I just took my scissors and I just cut between in the foam along the edge here. I took off these rhinestones, and then I used my alcohol inks and I colored it the mauvey purpley color and added that to the top of the tag. And I just put a tiny little white pearl on the back to hide the hole of that on the back. And that slides in there. And then this is another little tag I added with it as well. Another little, again, a purchase tag, but I did a little floral collection at the top of the tag. I created a little pocket on it with that handmade paper and added a little tag in there with one of my tattered butterflies on it and just put the word joy on there. And this all sort of goes together and slides in under that belly band. Very cute. Lots of interesting things to find as you go through this folio. And then over here on the back page is, oh, I forgot to say, I made more of those little butterflies out of that trim from Kim's shop. I had created these in another project, I think my last project actually, and it's part of a dangle trim, and I just used 2 of the pieces, glued them together, add some bling in the center and some little pearl stamens for their antennae, and I've put 3 on here. And another one of those little bunnies that I had, I put it here and some of that paper again over top this piece that covers the flap from adding this little flip in with the envelope. And then again, more of the bunnies. Again, they're all stitched around. This one adds a little purple butterfly here on the edge of the basket with the bunnies. The tea bag is done again the same with the handmade paper over the top, lace from Kim's shop over the top of that, all hand stitched. And then that beautiful that beautiful lavender and purple roses trim. I think I've said mauve a few times. It's not, it's lavender and purple. I don't know why I keep saying that. And then in this pocket is another one of the long tags, finished exactly the same way, with a butterfly and bunnies and a word on it. And that slides into the pocket. I made it so the bunnies were all sticking out of the pocket because I thought it looked really cute as you went through. And then this is another, I just used 1 string on this tea bag to put the beads on and added the other charm that I had that had the bunny and the florals on it. These were from Kim's shop last year, but I still had them left and I wanted to use them. It continues to be an example of the beautiful, beautiful things that she carries in the shop. You never are going to be disappointed because she's always putting such pretty things in. And then the very back page is also, because the back page of the journal is actually here that I already showed you. This is sort of the back part of all the flips. Is this one, and you can partially see this part on the front of the journal as well. That's what I showed you with that lace and the butterflies going up. And then here another pocket. I took the string off this one because I didn't feel there needed to be competition on this side with more things, and also it ends up in the middle, which adds more bulk. So I just left the strings off this one. Pocket is created the same, that beautiful lace overlay, all hand stitched on. Another one of my tattered butterflies. There's 3 little green ones on this page. The beautiful purple and lavender roses trim up the side here. This is an envelope with a pocket in it and an acetate lining. So I put a tag in there. It's all lined behind with paper, so it's all lined even if you take the tag out. And just that's the tag I created to put in there with the napkin and some butterflies on it. A piece of the floral trim. I love using the trim laces and stuff for the actual top of the tags instead of putting ribbons and things in. And this looked really nice because it melded in beautifully and with the lace in the top here. And I just used a little brad to hold that on with. And that pops into the top of this envelope that opens here, and you see it as it slides through. I've positioned the butterflies so that they do show in the window, and you can see how that floral just kind of blends right in to the top of the laces there. And then, of course, this cute little bunny on the back, stitched around, little bow in her ear. And then in here is a little shorter card. And I also didn't want it to go up so high here and block the butterfly that I wanted to put there. So a little bit shorter. Again, bunnies at the top, peeking out of the pocket. Butterfly there, all stitched. And that just slides in there so that they peek out. And then she all folds together nicely. This folding over there, this here, this one this way, and then just tuck these little ones inside here. Strings on that tea bag, and then the final front again. And she is all ready to go to someone. If anyone is interested in purchasing her, the information will be in the description box below. The little bunny and the collection of butterflies and papers and handmade paper clip all go with that. And there's the pin that I'll put back on the tie. And I hope that you will go over to AngeldreamCraftsKim and have a look at the beautiful things that are in her shop. You will not be disappointed. Create something, tag us on Instagram, put it in the Facebook group, come and join and have some fun with us. Check out the designers. They're creating beautiful projects that you must see. Links in the description box below to everything that I've mentioned, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.